Hello, friends, and welcome back to War 2, Season 11. We're taking on GoXII, the Guardians of the probably Galaxy. Going in today with Void, Namor, and Venom because there was a whole bunch of Spider-Verse champions on the boss island. Didn't know if I would have to take out one of them, so just to be safe, brought Venom along. First up, we got a Ghost Rider on Long Distance Relationship, Tyranny, and Mighty Charge Link is active. So Ghost Rider, not a villain, so he'll be gaining no power here. I don't really like playing with the Mighty Charge Link up because it purifies all of Void's debuffs whenever he does a medium attack, which sucks. But I do have class advantage here, so it's not awful. I have a couple of input drops here where I'm trying to dash back to dodge a heavy attack from Ghost Rider, and my game just flat out doesn't respond, and I get hit twice, I think, by it. Yeah. Other than that, it's a pretty standard fight. I try and recoup my health from what I lose there. So right there, you saw me intercept, momentarily spacing out and forgetting about my charge. I hit into him while he was unstoppable, and it didn't really seem to get me punished, which was, great. I did it again there, and he backed off instead of hitting into me. So there's the second heavy I'm taking here. Very irritating that my game dropped that. So now, I'm sitting here thinking he's got about 30% left. I need to recoup as much health as I can. I've got plenty of weakness debuffs on me and a lot of time on the clock. So my thought process here is I don't want to waste potions after fight number 1. Let's see how long I can extend this fight for. Can I heal up with willpower all the way up to 100% and finish this fight with a yellow bar? And you notice I'm saving my special 3 so that if or when I do get that yellow bar, I can immediately call in Sentry for some backup and get the kill there. So he is just about dead, and now I'm basically just trying to extend the fight, not take a blocked hit, not take a hit of any kind. I'm so close to getting that yellow bar, 98, 99, and 100, and there's the yellow bar. So then I immediately call in Sentry. So my mistakes, all was forgiven, and healed up all of the damage that I took from the 2 heavy attacks that I wasn't able to avoid. So we're all good going forward. Didn't get any mini-boss action on the first island today, so we're going all the way up to Tier 2 here. This is a 565 Killmonger on Recovery, Vigor, Indomitable, and I really struggled with how I wanted to approach this. Namor has the class advantage, but I didn't know if his damage could outdo the Vigor and Recovery nodes on Killmonger. But Void is an easy solution, but with Void I'd be taking the reverb damage. So I make a mistake here, and I accidentally replaced my 12% special mutant boost with an 8% boost. And I was thinking too much about the fight, probably. I meant to have a 12% special boost and then a 200% power boost. So the thinking here is that I can essentially maybe sort of get Imperious Rex to last indefinitely because once I jump up to 3 bars of power, use my special 3 and or my special 2, I will be regaining a lot of that power, and I can just chain together a ton of special 2s here. Another good thing about this fight with Namor, if you've watched my 17 uses for Namor video, you'll know that he takes, at max sig, 0 reverb damage. And not only that, he returns 100% of the reverb damage back to Killmonger in the form of energy damage. So, at the outset of the fight, it doesn't really look that good because of the Vigor node. He's regenerating a lot of his base health. And it is base health, it is not the boosted health, which is good. But, in my head, I'm thinking if I get this Fury up, and then once I get Imperious Rex up, launch a special 3, nail him with an unblockable S2, and I'm reasonably confident that I can end this fight without having to deal with him regenerating back most of his health here. So I lay in with the special 2 because I know Imperious Rex is about to trigger. Go back in, the timing is perfect. 5 hit right into the special 3. I think my first Fury had just dropped off or is about to. but I should be getting another one here, and then I can go right into an unblockable special 2 here and just kick his butt. And there we go. So that was a pretty exciting fight for me. I like when my decisions and my strategy pays off like that. So, all right, here we have a Morning Star on Buffet Recovery Indomitable. Gonna go in with Void. I do pop a combat regen boost only because I know that my willpower will not be able to out heal her bleed damage. So I want to keep myself as topped off as I can here. You can see the bleed is ticking for just under 250. And my regen, well, it's regenning more now because of the passive regen I have up. Dodge an S2 there. I accidentally took her over 2 bars of power because this person is running a pretty good amount of Mystic Dispersion. So I was aware of that for the remainder of the fight here, not to take her too far above a bar of power. Other than that, let the debuffs do the job for me. All right, so my passive regen has worn off. You'll see the next time I hit into her that she's going to be bleeding me for about 250. Okay, so it's, yeah, 250, and my willpower is only healing about 140 of that. So it is ticking me down just a little bit. Not enough that I'm going to, die from the bleed damage, but I just have to be wary not to take any unnecessary hits when I'm taking constant damage like that. So, but other than that, she goes down close to max health still, so very happy with that result. All right, here we have a Winter Soldier. This is just on a buffet with some other nodes that really don't apply to Winter Soldier. Not really anything special going on here. He's a 6-star, so his health pool is a bit higher. If you don't have a hard counter for buffet, or don't know how to effectively play around buffet, you're going to have a pretty bad time. So, with Void, buffet, any buffet node is easy with Void. If I didn't have Void, I would probably just parry and do the 5 hits. The problem is trying to bait special attacks without triggering dexterity. You could take dexterity off if you wanted, but as I've said, in a bunch of videos, I really prefer, champs that have set it and forget it type mechanics. So, with Void, I can just play normally and let his built-in abilities take care of buffet for me. And I mentioned last war that I didn't seem like buffet was working as it used to, whereas the old way, buffet would have triggered when the buff was gained, but now it seems to be triggering when the buff is used, which is really weird. So the buff isn't actually being removed from the node, it's being punished when you use it. A little weird, maybe requires some more testing going forward, we'll see. Alright, so this is another, I'm pretty sure that this is a bugged fight. So this is actually a Special Lock 1 node, and I was wondering how this was going to interact with Quake. So she's also debuff immune, which means I have to bait out heavy attacks, at least until I can cycle her special attacks. So I return the aftershock damage there, which is nice. I am getting the power lock debuff here, you can see right there. So I lay into her with my special 1. And I was expecting, when Imperious Rex to trigger, only to give me 1 bar of power. However, as you are about to see, it appears that Namor and his Imperious Rex ability actually circumvents power lock nodes. And he will instantly get 95% power right there, which leaves me free to lay into her with a special 2, and I was so surprised I went right into a special 1, not remembering that it wasn't unblockable, so I took a combo, but she went down anyway. Yeah, pretty sure that's not intended, but I'm happy anyways with how that turned out. Alright, last up for me is a debuff immune Night Monkey. Did a bunch of duels with this guy. The strategy really is, for me, is to assume that the first medium attack after his special 1, he's almost guaranteed to evade. So if you go in right after his S1 to punish, assume that he's going to evade it, and then you can immediately hit block, and that gets rid of the evade charge and leaves you free to bait out a heavy attack and go back in. So this fight, so somebody had already gone in, did a little bit of damage. So just trying to bait out the heavy attack. So he evaded. That was his initial evade charge. So now I can pretty much just lay into him, bait out the heavies. I think I slipped my finger off of the screen there and took that combo. That's unfortunate. All right, so he's going to launch his S1. He's got the evade charge. I go in, but of course he uses dexterity. So then I have to go back in with the medium. I think his evade chance is only like 70%. But in my experience, little as it is, it seems almost guaranteed that he will evade that first hit, which makes him pretty predictable. And our opponents this war were not running that dodge defense tactic, thankfully. Otherwise, this would have been far more difficult. Other than that, it's a pretty standard Namor fight. You know, Night Monkey's special attacks are fairly easy to avoid. Or block in the case of the S2. So I've got my Fury up here, so now it's Damage City. Imperious Rex is triggered. Lay into him with a special 2, and his health just plummets. Again, this is the second time this war that I completely forgot that the S1 was not unblockable, only the S2. So now I'm in a bit of a predicament. Got less than 10% health left. And I'm thinking, you know, I don't know how many more heavies combos I can take into my block, heavies I can bait. So I'm really just trying to kill him through block damage. And even though he has that passive evade charge up, he will not evade through a block, which is a good thing to remember. So I don't know if I would have gotten the solo if he had been at full health. Definitely could have played that a little bit better, but either way, came out. Speaking of coming out, we came out with the victory, 2 in a row to start the season. Very happy. Very low item usage, which I was very happy about. No deaths. Extremely happy about that. This was the second war in a row that we had a bunch of defenders remaining for us, so we got a bunch of extra points, which should give us a nice healthy buffer for later in the season. And I think we've moved back up into Tier 2 now, too. So we'll be back for war number 3. Let's try and keep the streak going. And until next time, thanks for watching.